Welcome to the Bryght podcast, where we illuminate the path to leadership with clarity, strategy, and intention. I'm your host, Wilhelmina Stukker, business consultant, executive coach, and founder of Bryght Empowered Learning. And today we're talking about something every leader must face: change. Not just any change, but intentional, guided, strategic transformation that takes your team and your organization forward without losing people along the way. So in this episode, I'll cover what effective change management look like and the most common leadership mistakes during change, a powerful framework you can use today, the ADKAR model, and how our innovative change management course of Bryght can help you lead confidently, clearly, and compassionately, no matter how big or small the change ahead. So let's dive in. Okay, so why change fails and what leaders can do about it. Change is inevitable. It's a part of life, right? Growth is optional, though. Do you choose to grow from this? And for many organizations, change efforts fail not because of poor planning, but because of poor leadership communication, lack of alignment, or ignoring the human side of transformation. And that's key. So here's the truth. People don't resist change. They resist being changed. Successful change management means guiding people from what they know to something unfamiliar. And that requires structure, empathy, and strategy. So change management is more than sending out a company-wide email or crossing your fingers that everything will go well. At its core, it's the intentional, strategic process of guiding people from where they are now to where they need to go or need to be. So that could mean adapting to a new system, a new leader, a market shift, or even a personal mindset shift as a business owner. The key word here is guiding. Without that guidance, change feels like chaos. But when done well, change can become an opportunity for growth individually and collectively. Here's the thing. People don't resist change because they're lazy or stubborn. Well, not always. But they resist because they're uncertain, scared, or uninformed. And your job as a leader is not just to roll out change, it's to lead people through it. And read the room, when you announce certain things, look at facial features, how people respond to this. So you can pull maybe certain people apart and give them a little bit more insight or information or guidance if you wish. So the psychology, I guess, of change, what leaders must understand is important. So let's talk about people for a moment. Every change, no matter how small, triggers something in the human brain called status quo bias. It's that subtle but powerful urge to keep things the same, even if the current situation isn't great, because it feels safer. People like to stay in their comfort zone. But as a leader, understanding this helps you manage resistance with empathy instead of frustration. So how do you do that? Well, start with the why. Before introducing any change, anchor it in purpose. Help your team understand the reason behind the shift and connect it to a bigger mission or goal. Next is acknowledge the discomfort. Say it out loud. This is new and it may be challenging. When you normalize discomfort, people feel seen and more willing to lean in. Another point is communicate early and often. Silence creates anxiety. So keep communication flowing, even if it's just to say, here's what we know and here's what we will try to figure out, and this is our goal, or something like that. Involve your people. When people feel like they have a voice in the process, they're more likely to embrace the outcome. collaboration creates ownership. And finally, I want to mention model flexibility. If you, as a leader, are reactive and overwhelmed or dismissive of feedback, your team will mirror that. Your emotional intelligence is your secret weapon. Okay, so put out what you want to receive back. At Bryght, we specialize in empowering leaders to navigate this process with both clarity and humanity during our innovative change management course. We have focus on that when we put that together. And one of the core methods we use is the ADKAR model. So what's ADKAR? ADKAR. It's a powerful model developed by Prosky, and it's at the heart of how we teach change leadership inside our course. The acronym ADKAR stands for awareness of the need for change. That comes first. And desire to participate and support the change, followed by knowledge of how to change. And then ability to implement new skills and behaviors. Last but not least, the R stands for reinforcement to sustain the change. It's always needed to reinforce whatever you have put together and built. So let's break this down briefly a little bit more in detail. The A for awareness. People need to know why change is necessary. If you skip this, you'll face resistance right away. Leaders must clearly communicate the why before the how to get them on board. Okay? Why it's important for this organization to implement this change, for instance. Next is desire. This is personal. Your employees or clients want to know what's in it for them. Why should they care? To stay on board, we teach leaders how to connect the dots between organizational goals and individual motivation. And next, knowledge. That's an important one as well. All these points are important. But knowledge, now that they are on board and planning to stay on board, you need to prep them to do their tasks well, to perform well. And here's where training and communication come in. You can't expect new outcomes without giving people the tools and information to act differently. When knowledge is clear, ability is next. This is about practice. Leaders must create space for learning, experimentation, and support, especially during the messy middle when performance may dip. And this mostly happens, so it's important for leadership to prepare for this dip. And then reinforcement. Lasting change needs reinforcement, always. Recognition, rewards, follow-ups, and accountability comes in here. So this model doesn't just apply to enterprise-level shifts. You can use ADKAR for team restructuring, tech rollout, leadership transitions, or even shifting workplace culture. I think it's a very powerful tool. And in our innovative change management course, we guide you step by step on how to apply ADKAR to real-life challenges in your business. All right, so let's talk about leadership mistakes that derail change. Let's be honest. Change is hard, and not everybody embraces change. Not everybody is conditioned as such, but even great leaders make mistakes. We know that. So some of the most common mistakes we see is announcing change too late or without context. Failing to involve key influencers early on. That's also very important. Or underestimating the emotional impact on staff. The way you feel about things doesn't mean everybody else, have the same or will have the same response to that, especially when you deal with different generations, different cultures, etc. Pushing change as a task rather than leading it as a journey is something that is also, a mistake that I've seen often. One of the core things we coach inside the course is how to lead with emotional intelligence and clear vision. And you have to be both anchored and adaptive. That means staying clear on your objectives, but flexible with how people get there, and being emotionally present with your team through the ups and downs. All right, so how Bright's course sets you up for success? Of course we do that. Our innovative change management course is designed specifically for today's leaders, seriously. Those balancing performance, people, and pivoting through constant evolution. So inside the course, you'll get a deep dive into the EDCAR model with real-world case applications to get a clear sense of how to implement that in your own in your own organization. And there will be templates and scripts for communication change with clarity and confidence, and exercises to assess readiness and reduce resistance. There's far more, but you can read more on our website about the content prior to enrollment. But whether you're navigating growth, restructuring, or innovation, this course equips you to lead with confidence and compassion. And you leave with a practical roadmap. That's our goal. And to have that mindset to guide others through even the most uncertain transitions. So, as we wrap up, here's something to reflect on. What change are you leading or resisting right now? Ask yourself that question. And have you built awareness, desire, and knowledge around it for your team? You may also ask yourself, what reinforcement system or systems can you put in place to make that change stick? Well, if you are ready to up-level your leadership toolkit and lead change from the inside out, I invite you to explore our course, the Innovative Change Management course, at bryghtel.com, and Bryght with a Y, it's BRYGHTEL.com, for Bryght Empowered Learning. It's not just about change, it's about leading transformation that lasts. Okay? So thanks for being with me today, and don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with whom you think it could be beneficial for. And remember, you are the catalyst your organization has been waiting for. So until next time, lead with purpose and stay bright always. Bye-bye.